Now, if you want to shop, you probably need to park somewhere. The last team of this blog, Gamechanger 2.0 from DTU, have a solution for you.
Hi, does this work? Perfect. My name is William, and my team and I have been given a case by Ballerup, the city where we live. It's a case where the solution both creates more sustainable local businesses, as well as a potential tool for designing more sustainable infrastructure in the future. Local businesses in Ballerup are failing due to lack of customers, meaning that there is a lack in revenue, which results in some of the shops having to close. This obviously affects the local economy. Through extensive research, including more than 300 different participants, it's become obvious that one of the main reasons for a lack of customers is the poor parking conditions. It's simply too difficult to find available parking spots, meaning that people actually drive out of town to shop elsewhere. When digging into this problem to find out what the actual problem which needs solving is, we find that we need to reduce the risk of unexploited parking spots. If you take one of the local shopping streets as an example, there are more than 200 different parking spots divided over 11 different areas. So this would probably mean that you would have to drive to 11 different areas before finding an available parking spot. Sometimes meaning that you waste 30 minutes just finding the free spot. We want to fix this by allowing the customers to drive directly to an available parking spot, and thereby removing one of their biggest pains, and creating more customers who shop locally. We've done this by designing an app which allows the customers to drive directly to the available parking spots. It's easy to use. It shows you the available parking spots. You just pick the one that suits you the best, and it gives you direct locations to it. Furthermore, it allows the municipality to gather data and get a better insight of the parking needs, as well as the CO2 footprint provided by the customers. And this is very important for further projects. So from a social perspective, it creates a better and more sustainable local businesses, which benefits the community and help preserve the local culture. From a more sustainable perspective, it collects data for the municipality and the decision makers to finally make some better decisions on how to design the future infrastructure and make it more sustainable. And also, it limits the miles driven by the customers, ultimately resulting in lower fuel emissions. So we've tested this prototype on various customers with very, very promising results. Also, this is one of the only solutions that has been presented which actually utilizes the existing resources to this extent, making it much more affordable and quicker and much more likely to implement it. In fact, one of the local trade associations have put it on their agenda for their next meetings with the municipality, and we'll be working close with the municipality and the developers in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You have still 1 minute left.
Yeah, well, that's for you.
I don't think we will have like 6 minutes of questions and answers.
Okay,
but yeah,
so
let's start.
We have a little bit of extra time. That's great. Could you just elaborate? Maybe I missed it, but could you elaborate on the technology that you use to detect like a parking space being empty? I mean, there's multiple solutions right now, sensors or cameras or whatever. What do you use?
Well, I forgot to say that, but it also utilizes existing technologies, which are mostly sensors, which would be used here in this case. There are also cameras. This is what we will be working with the developers to find out which one actually suits the best for the different parking areas. But yeah, that will be the technology will be used, either sensors at the different parking spots, or it will be cameras locating the available spots.
Yes. Okay. So I've been working myself in this space for some years, and all of these different solutions all come with different problems or issues in terms of like the camera when it's foggy or it's snowing or the sensors are runs out of batteries or stuff like that. So it is quite difficult to get get it very precise. And also, I like to say that I hope you also look into the competitive landscape of this, because there are actually a number of quite well-established companies doing similar things. So that's just a bit of advice.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, we've looked into that.
Hello. It might be very important for buyers or shoppers. Now, you have one free slot and two people want to park. Which one would you honor?
If you have one free spot and two different people who needs to park?
Yeah.
And so your question is who will...
Your applications should somehow decide.
So it's basically whoever will be first. So what I didn't mention is there will be the trial will be on the street I actually named, called Centrumgaden, will be probably the trial case or test case for it, and that will help us get better insight into which challenges might be experienced in these cases. Yeah.
What about, for example, the distance of the person from the spot?
The risk if someone takes the spot from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about that too. It should be it should know that. Well, it should recognize this, and it should show you another spot. We have talked about maybe being able to reserve a spot, but what we are afraid of is it being misused. Obviously, you could pay for it to be reserved, but yeah, we risk also that it would be misused. People would not show up for it; it would come late or stuff like that. Yeah.
So finding a parking space can be a problem in so many target groups. Why did you decide to solve this problem for the shoppers exactly?
Well, it's kind of difficult because it's like I don't know where you start. So the businesses were experiencing fewer and fewer customers, and the customers were saying that it's just not nice to go shopping there anymore because all the businesses or the shops they actually want to visit are closing. So they're closing because lack of customers. So we just started one end, if that answers your question.
Thanks. Isn't there a contradiction? You are saying they are losing customers, yet the customers are saying they don't find parking space. So if there are actually fewer customers, there should be more parking spaces available.
Yeah, well, the thing was, as I said, so there are available parking spots. The problem is having to find them. It's a pain. So there are parking spots. The parking spots are sometimes used by shop owners and stuff like that. The pain is actually having to find the free one in the first try. Instead of driving around to, let's say, 5 different parking areas, people just start to go elsewhere, where they know it's easy to find parking. So we want to exploit the parking areas there are, because we know that they're there. There aren't not enough parking spots. That's not the problem.
People always say they like to have small shops in the neighborhood, and they say that in interviews. But on the other hand, they always choose to write to the big global brands and the big supermarkets. So there's kind of a contradiction there. What insights do you have, for example, from those 6 users interviews, that you think that parking is the magic bullet that will make people really change that behavior with use of an application? So
we actually have quite a lot of insight into it. As I mentioned, there were 300 participants in the first research. And it's clear that they have stopped coming because they often want to drive there. But they after trying twice, they just tend to go to the next town. So it's become, and when showing this, when giving people this option in their cars or trying to help them find the free parking spots, it actually made them, it removed a lot of the pain in these test cases we've had, and it said they're much more likely to come often. But obviously, that would be, have to be tested more extensively.
And that's it. Can we see your member teams?
Yes. goes up here.
All right, big applause for the Gamechangers 2.0. I think that we all agree that to be the first 6 teams is always terrifying in a competition like this. So I would like you to give a big applause again to all the 6 teams. Thank you very much, everyone, for your interesting ideas, and we'll be looking forward to seeing another ones in the second block. But now we have a break, so it's time to refresh, have a coffee, and please be back in this hall by 10:40.